officials could be prosecuted over their role in the contaminated blood scandal after the Prime Minister ordered a major inquiry into the disaster. Theresa May yesterday announced the first full inquiry into what she called an appalling tragedy, her words, killed 2,400 people infected with hepatitis and HIV in the 70s and 80s. Worth noticing, actually, the campaign here by the Daily Mail, which has been running these stories for the best part of 3 decades, and finally gets there, so congratulations to the team over there. An estimated 7,500 people were infected with HIV and hepatitis after they were treated with contaminated stocks of the clotting agent Factor VIII, used to treat patients with haemophilia. Lawyer Michael Imperato represents some of the families of the patients.
There are widows living day in, day out with the memory of what happened, and none of them are getting any younger, so we must get on with this. But the first thing the government said is they're going to consult on the form of it. Nice idea, but don't let that then take a year or two to get through.
Well, reminding you the clotting agent was Factor VIII. Jason Evans is the founder of the Factor VIII campaign and joins me now. What are you seeking, Mr. Evans? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nick. Good to speak to you. I mean, ultimately, we're seeking truth, justice and accountability, and we have been for a very long time. Myself, the last 12 months, I have, eat, sleep, breathing this day in, day out, and yesterday was just vindication of all those efforts by everybody.
What does the inquiry need to get to? What does it really need to get to? What is drilled through?
I think we're clear at this point that something that's essential is that the inquiry has statutory powers to compel witnesses under oath and cross-examination, to get documents released, including from the pharmaceutical companies. We need to make sure it gets to the truth. We had things like the Archer report in 2009 when it reported, but it had no powers whatsoever. The Department of Health refused to give evidence. They did the same to the Scottish inquiry. The Daily Mail article that you referred to in there covered the fact that one of the senior officials refused twice to give evidence to the Penrose inquiry. And so we need to make sure that this time people like that can't just get off the hook.
Lastly, people talk about cover-up and collusion. I know I can rely on you not to name anyone individually, but where might we be looking?
I think the main place that campaigners, victims and families know that we need to look at is the civil service and the senior civil service at the time, as well as the executives of the pharmaceutical companies involved, because these are the people that have always evaded the public eye, because the general public, we love to criticise prime ministers and the people we see on television. But what we often don't think about is the officials behind the scenes. They're actually providing them with the information and ultimately the decisions.
Good luck to you in the work you've done. Jason Evans, founder of the Factor VIII campaign, thank you. That is a story that will run and another inquiry, quite rightly, on the way.